really. I mean, it's kind of been a topsy-turvy. A guy will show up one day and another guy will show up the other day. But I think by April 21st, we'll have a good sense of kind of the potential of our guys.
I'm probably going to rehash some of the same stuff other people have asked, but yeah, well, losing him and you're down to what, 3 scholarship corners at this point.
Right.
I mean, I would imagine that's not an ideal situation to be in at this point. How does that affect what you guys can do right now?
We do the same thing, and the good thing for us is that we've intentionally built a system that was simple. So regardless of whether you're a scholarship or a walk-on player, you can understand the system. Now, the benefit of having Pat down is that guys will get additional snaps. So it's not a good thing that he went down, but it's a good opportunity for guys who are still here to say, okay, I'll get a chance to show what I have on film. Whereas if he had been here, then some of the second and third guys wouldn't have got as much of a chance to get on tape.
As a staff, you guys had said the depth chart that you gave out before the spring wasn't really worth the paper it was printed on to an extent, but he might have been the exception. I mean, he seemed rather firmly entrenched towards the top of your list. I mean, how much is this going to benefit a Terrell Chestnut, an Avery Williams as a result of
Very much so. Any additional reps is going to help him, so instead of staying on the sideline now, you're playing more snaps on the field. So you can't really put a value on that because in this game all you have is your tape. So the opportunity to have more snaps on tape will give us a chance to coach them more and for them also to evaluate themselves.
Obviously, you were at a different position last year, but Avery was obviously here. What kind of player did you think he was going in, and what have you seen through whatever 7-8 practices now of him?
Obviously, he's very talented from an athletic standpoint. Tends to get undisciplined at times. He knows that. I know that. Everyone knows that. He has to work on his eye and mental discipline. And then once he gets to the point where he masters both of those areas, I think you're going to see that he'll be able to contribute to the defense.
And by a different coin, I guess, Terrell, there was no evaluation for him last year because he was hurt. You pretty much had to start fresh with him this spring then, and sort of where you think he's at this point?
Absolute first impression. He's made some progress, has a long way to go. He'll tell you that. Being out last season kind of set him back because he just wasn't in that mode of playing, but he's taking on the challenge quite well.
Given the offenses you all will face this year, I mean, you need numbers, obviously. You'll have Pat back, obviously, in the fall and the chance to maybe develop a couple more guys here, but is there a magic number you need to get to be able to just function, against spread offenses?
I don't think there is a magic number. I just think that you need to feel good about the majority of your players being comfortable in your system because you're an MCL or hamstring injury away from the guy being in. So we don't have a set number, but we're intent upon just preparing the guys that we have to play.
As I said, three scholarship players, but those walk-ons, like you said, you're going to expect them to perform as well. I mean, do they have a chance to get to the point where they could see action in the fall?
Yeah, I mean, you had 3 corners. I'm not sure there are many teams out there that feel comfortable taking just 3 corners into a game, especially when we're talking about going into nickel packages and having an extra DB. So obviously someone's going to have to step up, whether it be a guy coming in that's sitting at home right now, in New Jersey, or whether it's a walk-on who's in the room. But everyone knows that someone's going to have to step up for us.